Hi friends, welcome to today's video. My name is Josh, and in this piano tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to play the song This Is What Losing Someone Feels Like by Jake. Now, this is a new song that he just released. It's a very sad and emotional piano ballad, but it does have some really beautiful parts here to learn on the piano, so that's what we're going to be learning today. Let's get started by looking at what we're going to learn. Alright, so what we looked at right there, that's kind of going to be the basic framework for what we are going to learn today. We're going to break it down in kind of that verse part and then that chorus part, which are actually pretty similar, just some minor changes between them. And then there's other parts of the song that I'll show you a little bit of these changes, but anyways, let's get into the tutorial. Here we go. Alright, so this song is going to be in the key of F major, so we're going to have one flat, which is B flat. Alright. Now, one thing to note is that the tuning of this song is not in traditional F, so it's a bit flat. So if you're trying to play along with the original song, it's going to sound a bit off. Just be aware of that as you're practicing it. But this is the key that I think is best to play it in. All right, so we're going to start by looking at the verse, and we're going to start by looking at the chords here in the left hand. And for the verse here, in the first verse, there's going to be 4 chords that we're going to have to learn here. So we're going to start here, and we're just going to play F octaves in the left hand. Now, if you can't reach octaves, play just one bass note, that's fine, F, okay? But I'll play octaves here, and we'll play F. So our first chord there is going to be F major, all right? Now we're going to drop down to D's in the left hand, okay? So this will be for our D minor chord, okay? D minor 7, we'll call it. And then we'll keep going down now to a B flat chord, okay? So B flat's in the left hand. And then go up to a C, okay? So C in the left hand, right? So one more time, those 4 chords. F, D minor, B flat, and C, okay? Now in the right hand, we're gonna put our thumb here on A and our first finger here on C, okay? And we're gonna play that over all 4 chords. So we have F, D minor 7. This is a B flat with kind of a major 7 and a 9th here. And then we go to a C, C6 you could call it. Okay, anyways, but those are the basic chords, okay? All right, so now we're gonna bring a little bit of rhythm here into the right hand, okay? So with our A and our C there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna count 4 beats, okay? So on each beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're gonna play the thumb, and on the off beats, we're gonna play the C here on the first finger. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So if we were to play that over the chords in the left hand, that'll sound like this now. We're gonna play each chord for 2 measures, meaning we're gonna play this little rhythm here 8 times, okay? So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there, that's kind of the basic structure there. Now, obviously, that doesn't sound exactly like the original song, and the reason for that is because we don't have kind of these top melody notes yet. So that's what we'll be adding now, okay? So we're gonna really kind of keep the same pattern here in the right hand, but I'm gonna make one change, and that change is gonna be on beat 2, we're gonna play 1 and 2 and And after beat 2, we're always gonna go up to a note up here. So in this instance, where we start, we're gonna go up to A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and continuing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay, so that time after beat 2 we go to G. Okay, moving down to like a D chord, we can play that exact same pattern. D minor chord, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, do you see that? So you can play kind of that pattern over all 4 chords and it'll sound something like this. There you go. Do you hear it now? Do you kind of hear the original song in there? So once you get that part down, you can really play the whole verse. The only thing we're going to be doing now is making some minor modifications on kind of each chord. And this part is kind of just like play as you go because he never really plays it exactly the same twice. So for instance, sometimes instead of going back up to A, maybe we'll keep walking down to F. Or like on the B flat chord, we might go down to something like this. Or maybe even throw in a B flat here. And then like the C chord, you could play like this. Maybe throw in a little B flat there. There you go. You see, it's kind of just all that same rhythm, that same pattern we just learned, just making a few changes there in the right hand, okay? Now, if you want to play the song as a little bit quieter and play it a little bit more kind of in the background, I would just play it like that. But if you want to add a little bit more rhythm and a little bit more piano and bass in here, what I like to do in the bass is go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 hand, just to, you know, bring a lot more movement, a lot more rhythm in, and just play that underneath everything that we just played. So that sounds like this. You hear that? And in the left hand, just be really careful. You don't want to get too heavy with it. If you do that, it's going to start sounding really muddy, really messy. So you just want to kind of be subtle here in the left hand and just bring a little bit of rhythm. Make sure you accent those beat ones because that's what's really going to bring, you know, that bass sound to it, and that kind of differentiates that from just the other times you're playing into the left hand. If you're playing it exactly the same every time, like people are going to kind of lose track of where you are in the song. So So there you go, you can kind of hear how all those pieces fit together now. Now I do want to briefly go over a couple of their sections that are very similar but just slightly different. So in the second verse, for instance, we're not going to be playing those same chords. We're actually going to, instead of playing the D minor chord, we're going to go down to an A minor chord, and it's going to give it a bit of a different sound. So that'll sound more like this. Like that, okay? And then later in the second verse, we're going to even make one more change. And this is right before we go into the second chorus. So what we do there is we're going to play a D minor chord as the first chord now. Or I think maybe like this we play it. So we'll play our D minor chord, then go down to A minor. And then finish with our same two chords there. B flat and C, okay? And that's just like that very last line in the second verse. All right, so that's everything for the verses. Now let's take a quick look back at the intro. The intro is going to be very similar to the verse, but you're just going to be moving through the chords a little quicker. So we're going to play two measures on this F chord, and then we're gonna go down to D minor, and then B. They each are only gonna get one measure. So it just moves a little bit faster than our verse. So it sounds like this. And then it goes right into our verse. There you go. All right, so the last section that we have to get into now is the chorus, and the chorus is actually not gonna be too bad. It's actually gonna be very similar to the verse also, especially here in the right hand. But we are gonna have some new chords, so that's what we're gonna start with. Now we're gonna start with an F chord again, but I'm actually gonna play it an octave down, and that's because we wanna bring a little bit more power here when we start the chorus, okay? So we'll start with an F chord in the left hand, then we'll go up to an A minor chord, okay? Next we'll go to a G minor chord, and then to finish we'll go to B flat and C, okay? And then in the right hand, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the same pattern. For the A minor chord, it'll be exactly the same. And now on the G minor chord, we're gonna go up to B flat, D, and B flat here in the right hand. And then go to that A there as we drop down. But the pattern is exactly the same that we've been playing the whole time when we were starting on this A here, okay? And then we'll go up to B flat, play kind of the exact same way we just played on that G minor. And then to C. Okay, now continuing on to the second line of the chorus here, we're gonna go now to a D minor 7 chord. So that's just G's in the left hand, and then we'll play the A and C here, and then kind of walk up from there. And then after that, it kind of sounds exactly the same like the first line of the chorus. We'll go to our A minor next. And then that's the whole chorus. All right, so play one time through that chorus. I'll even bring in the left hand rhythm as well here, and that sounds a little something like this. And there you go, that does it. So that should be everything that you need to know to play this song. This is What Losing Someone Feels Like by Jake. I really hope you enjoyed this piano tutorial. If you did, be sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below. Let me know what other songs you want to see tutorials for. Hit that subscribe button so that you can see all of my videos, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next time.